Did anyone else get super hyped seeing that square off between Kakashi and Orochimaru? I was just like, I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't know the fate of what was gonna happen with these characters, I would have totally thought, yeah, someone might die right there. So we start this episode off with Danzo in bed. What a beautiful scene. Yes, we just need to see Danzo in bed, baby. Oh, yeah. This episode definitely wasn't as good as any of the previous filler that we've had within this Kakashi Anbu filler arc. And one of the things that this episode was definitely missing a lot of, we got a little bit of him, but we didn't get a lot of, is Kakashi himself. And I think that was one of the things that made the episode not feel as good as the other ones as well, because it's like there was barely any Kakashi in the episode. We got that one moment with him and Orochimaru, and that's the standout moment of the episode, but other than that, we really didn't get any of Kakashi in this episode, which is unfortunate because I would have liked to see a little bit more of him within the episode, but it was definitely more so centered towards the stuff with Yamato and Orochimaru. And I'm not gonna lie, the way they did that scene building up Kakashi versus Orochimaru, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like hype right here. Like, this was some good shit the way they built that up. But then as the episode progressed, aside from that, there was just a lot of slow pacing, a lot of just like Yamato discovery. We did get 2 bits in this episode that I felt were valuable. And again, that was the whole thing of explaining what happened after the third Hokage basically let Orochimaru escape. And then we also got the bit with Yamato and finding a little bit about his family. Seemingly that's his family right there. And his real name is Tenzo, because I remember hearing that his name was Tenzo. So pretty much this is his, I guess, family. And that's basically his sister and probably father, I'm guessing, as well. And what happened is they gave away 3 years ago their son. And I'm thinking that doesn't that conflict a little bit with the story? Because if Yamato is 10 years right now, 10 years old, and they gave away their son 3 years ago, he would have been 7. But if I'm correct, in the third Hokage, they say the first child would have had to have been like 10 years ago if it was indeed successful. So I'm curious as to, is that a mix-up? Was it just bad knowledge from the third Hokage? He didn't have all the facts. He didn't know which one was the child. I'm curious as to what's that about. So maybe that was a little bit of a flaw, or maybe they just meant that overall there was 10 years worth of children getting experimented on. Animation and art for this episode was okay. I like the art in some parts, especially when you see Yamato with his sister. But aside from that, that's really all we got with this episode. It just felt very slow paced, and like a little bit of more of the backstory to Yamato, and kind of like that Kakashi and Orochimaru scene being epic. But aside from that, it honestly just felt like this is the point where, okay, the filler should come to a close within the next week or two, because once you start feeling like it feels like filler, then yeah, that's the time where it's like, time to exit stage left, if you know what I'm saying. And is it just me, or do every time you see the scenes with the third Hokage and Danzo, do you just think like you want to just scream at the third Hokage, get rid of that snake motherfucker? Like, Danzo, even after the fucking discovery of what Orochimaru was doing, that the third Hokage found out, he was still like, okay, we have a plan B, make sure you see to it that Orochimaru escapes from over here. And doesn't it in a way feel like Yamato's a scumbag to a certain degree? That, yeah, okay, he was a little kid, whatever, but nonetheless, that's a stain in his history that he was indeed trying to help Orochimaru escape from the Hidden Leaf of their country. So it kind of makes you already think like, god damn, Yamato as a kid, he followed his orders to the T, but he was following the wrong orders. He should have been following the third Hokage. And I mean, at the end of the day, if the third Hokage did find Orochimaru, that makes you wonder as well, because he let him escape once before. Do you really think he would have put him to death or something, or try to put him in a prison? I really don't know what the third Hokage would have done, because at the end of the day, he was a good person. He really, truly was a good-hearted person. So I don't even know if, even if they caught Orochimaru, if he really would have done anything to him, like a severe punishment. So overall, this episode was definitely a letdown compared to some of the episodes we've gotten in this filler arc. This is probably the weakest episode thus far of the bunch. Hopefully, this filler now comes to a close soon, because while the ending seemed to like have some cool setup for next week's episode with Kakashi going into the cave and Yamato being in there, overall, it's just like this filler starting to run its course, and maybe it's time to get back to canon very soon. Well, hopefully. Let me know what you guys think. Favorite moment of the episode? I think it definitely should be the Kakashi and Orochimaru square off part, because that shit was just like intense, and Kakashi was just like frozen. I mean, at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Orochimaru probably would have took out Kakashi, even though he was injured from what the third Hokage did in the snake. Overall, I think that Kakashi would have gotten destroyed by Orochimaru, even if he was injured. And your overall thoughts of the episode? Do you feel as though it's time for this filler to come to a close very soon? It was good while it lasted, but now it's starting to drag on a bit. And when you're seeing the same scene like 5 different times of the test tube babies inside of the little incubator tubes or whatever, that's when you know, yeah, it's time to go. By the way, I give this one a 4.5 out of 10. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Go ahead, thumbs up if you think you're ready to go back to the canon. This filler was cool, but I think at this point it's like, yeah, I'm ready for some more Madara Uchiha, baby. ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.